everyone, and welcome back to Roots and Wings. I'm Melanie Little. Today, I get to brag a little because we have an amazing Fox Hill School alum with us. Grace Sanders is a clinical dietitian at Newton-Wellesley Hospital, a registered dietitian at Nourish, and she holds a bachelor's degree from Stonehill and a master's degree from Boston University. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you start out at a young age and it's a struggle, you don't want to encourage or reinforce that poor relationship with food that they'll carry forward.
Yeah, and it can be really hard because then as they get older and then they're confused, I don't know when I'm hungry. I don't know when I'm full because I was always told you have to finish this in order to get up from the table or in order to get a dessert. Another approach that can kind of seem a little crazy to some parents at first is when you are deciding that, that division of responsibility, you decide what to eat and when, putting out your balanced plate of whatever your family's eating. And maybe if the incentive is always to, I have to finish my plate to get dessert, maybe a cookie goes on the plate and it's not looked at as a good or bad thing. It's just with all the other foods, trying to be neutral with all the different foods is something that I think is also super important for that relationship with food in your body. And if that's what they choose to eat first, not making a big deal about it, not acknowledging that, and just kind of letting it be. This food's really yummy. We like this sometimes. This food is good for our brains. This food helps our muscles grow. And this food might make our heart really happy. And all foods kind of having neutral versus a good and bad and saying, well, don't eat that first because you have to eat this first. Because then it creates these conceptions of what's good and bad versus just all foods can fit in our life. We know, we'll eat when we're hungry and we'll stop when we're full. And there's a chance that it might vary day to day. But at the end of the day, they will eat when they're hungry and they will stop when they're full. And sometimes they just know better than us, even though that feels really crazy.
It does kind of feel crazy. And I'm thinking if I love I'm putting everything on the plate and you decide in what order you're going to eat it, because it is pretty arbitrary that you have the sweet stuff last. So what do you have a strategy if you do that and they only eat the cookie?
Yeah.
At that mealtime.
Sometimes that might happen.
Yep.
But as the parent too, and that's a hard thing to wrap your brain around, sometimes that might happen. And when trying to build this healthy relationship with food and their bodies, keeping things super neutral. So not giving into your knee-jerk reaction, which is like we grew up being told, don't have this or don't have that or eat this first and whatnot. So kind of removing any ideas we have innate about food and what's good or bad or healthy or unhealthy, and just trying to kind of let them follow their body's cues because eventually they will follow what we think is quote unquote correct, but it might take some time to get there. And it just is more of a journey. And the younger that they are that you can start doing that, they might not even know that this cookie is the biggest incentive or whatever. They might not know. It's just, a cookie's on my plate with my broccoli, with my, potatoes, with my, chicken or whatever you're having. And it's just no different than any other food. They all serve different purposes for us. But taking away, well, this is a good food and this is a bad food, because if they know that, kids always want to go with the thing that we don't necessarily want them to be having. So trying at a younger age to start that, letting them kind of choose what their body wants. And you might notice after time and time of doing this, they're only taking a bite of the cookie and they're having a few bites of the chicken and then a few bites of the potatoes. And maybe they're not going to have broccoli, but maybe the next day they eat all the broccoli and only a bite of the cookie and a bite of the chicken. And it'll their bodies will work out what they're craving when they're naturally able to listen to these cues. But like I said, it's really scary because that's not what we have been told is quote unquote normal. So it's a huge mindset shift, I think, for parents. And when you're really starting to get kids involved and interested in nutrition or nutritious foods without labeling them as, I really want you to eat these, having kids be involved in cooking and prepping where they are able to be is also a really beneficial idea too. And that's also can be challenging when parents are so busy, but trying trying to get kids involved through like a play-based approach, as you do for everything when they're learning at that age.
Yeah.
Same way for nutrition, having them
Oh, I
play
love that.
with foods or getting them involved in your prepping, whether it's washing your lettuce or washing your berries or anything that they can kind of do will help to hope to excite this
Yeah.
interest in food and nutrition. And that can be a really helpful thing as well.
I love it.
Prepping or just exploring different things with your kids, like exploring different things sensory wise, like, oh, is that crunchy? Is it smooth? What color do you find in there? When you bite it open, what does that look like? Or, oh, can we make, bell pepper bracelets and we put them on our wrist? Ooh, that's fun. Now we want to eat the bell pepper, and getting them to eat
Ah,
things in different ways and getting them interested so that they want to eat these foods because you're talking about it and exploring it and potentially having them involved in prepping it. So now they're like, okay, I did all these things. Like, I want to try that now. My parents are
yeah.
trying that now. I'm interested in what it's all about. Like, now I'll eat it. And so
Huh.
that can kind of be helpful as well. And then they don't really know that that's what the idea behind it is. It's just fun and
Right,
it's
right.
play and it's getting excited about new experiences and new things.
Now that you say that, my brother and I, one of my favorite things, we'd put black olives on our fingertips and then
Yeah,
eat them this way. And black olives are one of my favorite foods now. So didn't
exactly.
even
Yeah.
ever put those two things together.
Yeah, and, like, making those little things fun as a kid, like, now you said that's one of your favorite
Yeah.
foods, and it probably started from when you were playing with it and eating it that
Right.
way. Yeah,
Exactly. I had never even put those two things, two and two
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. Well, Grace, thank you so much for joining us and
Thank you
for
for
all
having
the
me.
amazing, of course, and all the amazing work that you're doing. I'm so proud. I mean, I just can see you sitting on the steps of the Fox Hill School still in your little dress and
I know, I
and
know.
then there you are doing this amazing stuff.
Yeah, I know, we have
So,
those
so
pictures
proud of
in
you.
our house of me and my siblings at Fox Hill, so it's time flies.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And thank you to everyone for listening. And don't forget, our Fox Hill School alumni are out there making a difference every day. So thanks for tuning in to Roots and Wings. And we will see you next time. Bye, Grace.
Bye.
Thank you.